I just realized we never talk about video games at all, and I just finished Tomb Raider, so I figured I should start this one by letting you know that the game Tomb Raider 2013, that is, Tomb Raider, for the proper pronunciation. It's a pretty decent game. I think it's a 7.5 overall. It did remind me a lot of Uncharted, and I know a lot of people are going to say, like, well, Uncharted is basically Tomb Raider with a guy instead of a girl. But I think the mechanics were a little different, especially when it came to the fighting, the use of weapons and stuff like that. I think they kind of took the Uncharted uh, gameplay, I guess, or the way it's played, and they used it for this Tomb Raider, or at least they copied it somehow. And I know it's a pretty cool game. It's the first game I finished in Xbox One, and it kind of got me into it got me to playing again. I actually want to keep on playing. I haven't played in so long, so I recommend it. And if you haven't played it, how about this? You let me know which one is the last game you've played and what you thought about it. And I don't know, I guess talk about anything that's video game related. Okay. Hear from you soon, I hope. And I just realized that my last message was a minute and 40 seconds, so it's kind of unfair to just ask a question, have you answer it, and just talk for about 10 minutes afterwards. So let me talk a little bit about the game itself. The story's it's a decent story. It's like most of the Tomb Raiders and even the Uncharted stories. It starts out as you not really knowing what's going on, and then there's a supernatural aspect, and that's what's going on. But you kind of find out more towards the end. The I played it in normal. Usually play most games in normal because I like to follow story more than just beat the game. And it's pretty challenging in normal. It's not hard at all. Well, the name says it. It's not hard, but it's a good play. Guessing people that like hard would enjoy it as well because it's probably really hard and hard. I did found that the weapons are a little uncomfortable to use, but I think that's kind of the point of them. It's like you never really master them until near the end, and when it comes to like really being able to shoot straight because there's a lot of recoil and it's a little uncomfortable sometimes. But again, that's probably part of the whole dynamic. Overall, it's an origin story. That's something else that could kind of grab you into the game. See how Lara started all this and what her motivation was. Although they really don't touch on her history before her first adventure, which is this one. It's more it's more like, hey, I need to prove myself somehow, so here I am. One thing I did notice is that she felt into it really easily. It's like she got into the from the beginning of the whole thing. She's basically just a girl who wants adventure, and she just starts kicking ass almost right away. So you don't get the background of how maybe she was trained to learn how to use weapons or trained to jump like an acrobat or nothing like that. She's just there and she knows how to do this stuff. She was a little comfortable with taking down her opponents, meaning killing them, right off the bat, which is a little unsettling because maybe I would have liked a little bit of remorse at first and kind of have it be like she's not really enjoying this, but it was sort of like, okay, so I had to shoot these people with my bow and arrow, and okay, no problem, they're done. Next level, please. So yeah, that was a little unsettling when it came to the character, but other than that, pretty good character development, I guess. Uh, the secondary characters just got no, they have no background at all. No, they just kind of popped up and disappeared. as the game kept on progressing. So yeah, that's about it. It's still a pretty good game all along. Really good game. Like I said before, solid 7.5.
In all honesty, there's um, really two things. One is I was never a Tomb Raider fan. Uh, I remember trying to play it when Baby first came out, one and two, a gazillion years ago, and I just never liked it. I think of all those games that had that similar style to it. The only one I ever played was um, Metal Gear Solid, and then that was literally the only one I think I ever played. However, um, I've seen a lot of people play it, and I'm not one of those people who like to watch people play either. And I can get it why it keeps on coming back, but I think you touch on something that fits pretty much all those games that are focused on just one character completing missions, which is what else are you going to do? I mean, what more can you do? It's the same idea of like TV shows. You're like, really, season 25,000? And I get it. Things like The Simpsons can do that, and like Final Fantasy and Zelda. And that, well, I wouldn't even throw my coins in the fountain for Zelda, but it's it's the same thing again. So I wouldn't have even bought it because I would have asked myself, why? Why another game? Same thing, same story. Like, what could possibly be different now that Lara Croft couldn't have done it in the first two ones? Like, what? It's another tomb, I'm guessing. It's another mystery, I'm guessing. It's another ruin. It's another jungle. She's going to be climbing stuff, and she's going to be shooting at stuff with not a lot of firepower, and she's going to be swinging from vines, I'm going to guess. It's kind of like, I just feel like it's why are we seeing a new of the same old um, and I guess that's a problem with the gaming industry. And I would have told you that if you had told me I'm considering buying the new Tomb Raider game, I would have told you exactly what I'm saying now. And listening to what you said about it, I think I would have been perfectly correct, because the question is, why? Again, really, why? It's the same thing. Like, what could you possibly do? I hope the next one, they don't even consider the possibility of maybe doing it, because that's pretty much it. Unless you want to go through the prequels, which seems to be everybody's go-to answer for when they've run out of stuff. Like, you've just finished Halo 5, I would say, what can Master Chief not have done differently? 1 was good, 2 was excellent, and by 3, people were like, really? 4, everybody, even like Halo fans were annoyed, and it goes back to kind of like what I said. I wouldn't throw my coins even for like Zelda. After Ocarina of Time, you had Majora's Mask, you had Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, and now we have the new one. I forgot the name of it. And people would play it to play it. And I bought Skyward Sword because it was a Zelda game, and because I fell in love with Zelda with Ocarina. And after Ocarina, I actually started playing the older games. But I never finished Skyward Sword because I was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm doing the same thing again. Like, are you seriously telling me that I'm going to go through the same temples? Yes, there might be some slightly different, but we all know that the water temple was going to kill me. So I was going to get frustrated. The red one, the lava fire one, was going to be okay. The forest one was going to be the easiest. The spirit one was going to be the one where you're like, what is this? So that's my thing with video games is, there's got to be something different, some big twist out there that's going to make you enjoy it. I unfortunately, that's why I said there were two things. Number 2 is I have a lot of kids, man. Married, 3 kids, and the job that I have. Sometimes I I have to pick my battles. I stick to reading, I stick to TV shows, I stick to comic books because those are things I can fit into at night when I'm in bed. Um, and I can do it for like 30 minutes without a problem. But video games, to be the video game player that I used to be, would require me to spend countless hours playing because I was the type of person who would say, I'm not going to finish this until I'm done with this task, this goal, this objective, this mission, this level, this temple. Um, and that type of OCD mentality is not good when you have a job that requires you to be up at 6 and out of office late, and then you want to be you want to actually be an active participant of your family. Um, but I still love the idea of video games. I know that at one point I'll come back to them, and yeah, man. I mean, that would have been my review if you had asked me beforehand.
Yeah, I think you kind of ruined video games for me now. You simplified it to the point where all I see now is that she jumps us up or jumps around and holds on to binds and has limited firepower. And yeah, I kind of sell my Xbox now. No, I'm kidding. You know why I bought it? It's because I remember that the way I used to feel when the stories were developing. I mean, when you get a game and you get that OCD you mentioned earlier, and you just have to finish it, you kind of get really involved in it, and it's a way to just let go of everything. You don't have to be in real life for that period of time, and it extends itself to hours, which is something movies don't do. I guess books do that as well. So it's kind of the same feeling. Once you get a really good book, you kind of want to keep on going and don't want to stop. It's kind of the same feeling with a good video game. Now you are right. Most video games are not good these days. Stories are lacking, and that's the one reason why I uh, I play them. I want. You know, I'm a story junkie. So if I get a good story, yeah, I'll stick around. But usually I've been disappointed. I just finished Halo 5, and I'm not the biggest Halo fan out there, but I was hoping that, since it's the fifth one of the whole series, that somehow they would get it right by now. But it's always kind of boring, to be honest. And I'm just hoping for a good game to come out. Uh, I've always been a huge fan of the Kingdom Hearts series. I love Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I've tried to play the handheld games as much as possible. I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to finish one. I've started them and I haven't gotten into them again. But I'm really, really hoping that the Kingdom Hearts 3 one comes out pretty soon, and it's a better game than anything out there. Now, all that being said, there is one thing I did want to mention. You know what I think about what it is about video games? They mean something different to everybody. I mean, some people just like the competitive aspect. We used to play Halo a lot, and it was the group we played with just wanted to be the best and try to beat everybody, and that was the whole point of meeting up. And then we had another group where we used to play older games like NES games or 64 games or anything, some of those older consoles. And the point was to get together and just kind of have fun. I mean, I remember we used to play Smash Brothers and everything and those type of games. Uh, and yeah, that's kind of it. There's different video games. I mean, video games mean different things to different people. Uh, and that's a good thing. That's great. I just wanted to mention that because I don't getting back into gaming now. It's been years, and I kind of want to find that again. I want to see what it was about video games that I loved. So if anybody has any comments about the video games they're playing right now, anything you think maybe I should play, I don't think Teacher George will have much time to play games, but. If there's any suggestions, then yeah, let me know. I'm definitely up for playing anything at this point. It's kind of therapeutic. So just let us know through Twitter. I'll leave the Twitters on the description, but you can always get in touch with us through Geeks Ramble at Geeks Ramble. Just look for Geeks Ramble via voice notes across the board, meaning you can look for us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, basically everywhere. We're in iTunes, so just look us up there and subscribe. And if you have any other ideas what we should talk about, or maybe disagree with what we said today, just let us know. So thanks for listening.